So, like, genuinely, like, what bugs me about white culture and why I bitch about it so often isn't because of the color. Well, it is because of the color of your skin. You know, it's that because that's not what white is about. And so, white is then instead allowed to be policed by how polite you are. And when it's policed by how polite you are, you're always going to assume the victim's in the wrong. And that makes you fucking retarded. Not even gonna like mince words about it. That makes you worse than most of the lolcows that you laugh at. Like, if you actually want to be white, don't be fucking making up troll accounts and doing like death threats and like unfunny critiques. You know, like, if you're not gonna be funny, just fucking wait until you find something that's funny and then post it. Otherwise, you're gonna look crazier than I do. Fucking morons. Like, and it's that way with like everything, because like everything's connected in a way. Everything echoes, and that's what I meant by echoing, you know? Especially with the internet now, everything's so much more interconnected. You gotta think of how you're coming across. And that's exactly why I'm doing all of this. So that people can see, hey, there are some victims that need help. They just can't do it on their own. And sometimes, unfortunately, they're born into family situations where their parents don't really want to help or don't understand how to help. And we don't have towns or villages anymore, so we don't have that sense of community because our cities are too big. So now the orphan, who takes care of the orphan? The state. And that's why so many orphans grow up with social disabilities. You know, they don't fucking know how to socialize. Even like, and I'm using the term orphan loosely, because I'm including actual orphans, and then people who don't have parents that, like, can properly parent, or don't have parents that love them. You know, either or. And it's more than just me, so that's why I haven't been making, like, too many jokes. I don't mind making jokes at my own expense, but I really do try to either generalize a joke or go after a bad behavior or provoke somebody into thinking about my actual message with something a lot more hostile that will grab attention. And I'm not saying anybody else should do this. I'm just saying, you know, stop and think, LOL, calm down sometimes, and go, okay, wait, why can't this person, LOL, calm down? Are they a victim or the victimizer? And when the victim calms down first, because the victim's getting help, and then the victim all of a sudden is like, well, yeah, I just didn't want to fucking pocket a bunch of money for kicking somebody's ass. I wanted it to go to an actual charity. The victimizers start freaking the fuck out. And you'll have seen this pattern every single time in at least my interactions. There's a reason that Angry Canadian is actually fucking funny, you know? And some of the people in that thread aren't funny. Some of them, pretty goddamn funny. Like, the stubble comment, I especially enjoyed that one, because it's a joke that I make about myself all the fucking time. Like, the anti-testosterone has taken the beard down quite a bit, but it's still, like, ridiculously thick. And so, like, that's what I mean, you know? You just... Some people can take criticism. It's just that they might be going through something, and you don't know what they're going through. So, instead of just jumping down the BPD border, which I probably have BPD, but that's because it's, as far as I know, a family thing, and most of the people in my extended family who actually get diagnosed have BPD, you know? But everybody who fluctuates that way doesn't. Sometimes it's like, I mean, imagine it this way. Somebody who doesn't like sharing anything about themselves. Are they going to tell you when their dog died? A little bit of a story for me. One of the people that I thought was my friends way back in like middle school my dog died. It was horrible. It was one of the dogs that, like, I love the most. And this sounds far-fetched, but I was so torn up about it because I felt like if the dog wasn't there, the car that came into our yard and hit my dog, I know, funny fucking meme, it actually is now, but you come into my yard and you run over my dog. Like, essentially, if the dog wasn't there, I think my sister would have got hit by that car instead. And, like, I don't really like my sister, but I don't want her to die, you know? I really don't want anybody to die. That's just memes and irony. I used to be a bit more hateful, but I was never really fully hateful. And, I feel like that's the thing, because you can't make fun of someone if you don't actually like them. You have to appreciate the subtle nuances of, like, their little faggy hand gestures with their tiny hands to properly make fun of them. And yes, my Trump has slipped a ton, but I was able to do him in election season pretty well. I was also able to do a good Bernie. And then, of course, I think I can still do my Hillary. Obey!